Hello. Law aspirants, CLAT aspirants, AILET aspirants and the aspirants for the life. Yes, we all are aspirants. In fact, I say perseverance is the key to success. If you are doing continuous hard work, success is at your doorstep. That is rightly and truly said. Why is it so? Because I won't say I am a teacher, I am a learner. Why? Because that will refine me, polish me and make my knowledge more, in a better manner I can present it, right. Because if I will say I have learned everything, that can never be the case. It is an infinite ocean where the more you dip, the more refined and polished you are. So, please students, even if your vocabulary is very strong, I would suggest you that go for more and more things, new things. See creativity, knowledge, innovation, talent. When you are doing this things, it will be continuously forever till you breathe. It was rightly said that till you breathe, you are going to add something or the other to your knowledge. Every time when I am teaching the root, I add on one or more root in it, more and more example in it, and so it goes on. It is a lifelong process. So, why not we do the same? Yes. So, we continue with the root where we left yesterday directly. This was the last word that I left out the class yesterday and I continue with the same. Beginning with the word where I left, I talked of rogue is a cheat or a fraud person, that I am not writing all the synonyms I gave yesterday. Interrogation is asking questions. This I told you, interrogation is linked with a literary device, that is rhetorical question. You ask question for emphasis, not for answer. Right. Arrogant is somebody who is carrying airs. The idiom you use for it, carries airs. Please note the noun usage, airs. Is a person who is very haughty, proud, supercilious, disdainful, insolent, slob, right. High-headed. Could be many more if I start writing many more. Somebody who doesn't consider himself to be, an ordinary human being, carries a lot of airs. She is of royal family, so she carries a lot of airs, right. A person who presumptuously means he takes it for granted, see this thing is meant for me. That kind of an pride and arrogance in a person, that you've heard also the saying arrogance has a fall. It's a famous epigram. So, arrogance is that quality which will always lead to disaster. Moving on to our next word in this. Derogatory. Derogatory first root that works in this is DE root. That means not. That is a negative. Rogue is ask, that comes up. Okay. So, often asking that somebody's good reputation, someone's good reputation be taken from her, means you take away the good reputation from a person. That means you spread scandals or gossips about a person. Defame the person. Defamatory. You defame a person, you talk negative about the person, you talk bad about the person. It's just like chaffing, condemning or criticizing the person. That is derogatory. Nobody loves to hear derogatory remarks from anyone. Prerogative. Again the word ROGS, prerogative means you ask for your rights. If I say this is my prerogative, that I want discipline in my class, this is the permission, this is the thing, this is my right, that I as a teacher would ask my students to behave in a very particular sophisticated manner. So, this is my prerogative. Every person has his or her prerogatives. That is right. You have a right over things and you can ask for those rights anytime. Surrogate mothers and surrogacy, all must have heard of. Surrogate is a person being asked to do something instead of another person who normally would. Right? That means, in simple words, if I use the word substitute, that is in place of, maybe the real mother or the cannot carry the child, so there is a biological mother who is hired to produce the child in the womb, and that is surrogacy in place of the mother. So that is surrogate. And abrogate. Now tell me, what is the root AB? AB means, ma'am, yes, move away or keep away. So abrogate is you ask for a duty to be taken away. You abrogate, you legally ask for a duty. You in fact cancel up your duty. You refuse, you deny to do some kind of a duty taken away. So he abrogated his duty which was given to him, that is denied, refused to take that. Right? Any problem? I hope you are getting the word ROG, that is to ask for something. We will all ask, should ask for our prerogatives. Next word in this series, please note the root DE meaning not, ROG meaning ask, and AB meaning move away or keep away. Moving on to next word in this. See the break in the word, supererogatory. Supererogatory is performing a duty that is over and above which was originally asked. Means you do more than that is asked. There are some people who have a habit of doing more than they have been asked, that is supererogatory, doing more than you are asked. And prorogue. See, asked to be put into the future, something pro is future, something you asked to do in the future, right. You have to just remember at the back of your mind that ROG means, yes, ROG means ask. I hope you have understood this root. Let us begin with the next root. You have jotted down all the other roots simultaneously with it. If you face any problem, do write to us. Be patient, you would surely get your answer back. I believe individually we answer each and every query and doubt of the student so that they excel in all the spheres. Turning to next root, that is fin. Whether it is final or finale, whether it is finite or infinite or finish, all will mean in the sense of end. Now, when I say the word fin, that is final, that is pertaining to an end, something which will come to an end is final. You will have your final mock test, a dress rehearsal paper, finals are coming, prepare for your exams, that is something which will come to an end. Finale is the end to something. You usually have a performance in this, right. So, he was talking of the finale, that is the last performance, was the thing that came to an end. Finish, you can see these words are quite linked words, final, finale and finish, that will come to an end. Man's life is finite or infinite, we have the root in means not. So, infinite means no end and finite means having an end. So, our life is finite and God is infinite. When a thing does not have an end or limit, then we call it infinite. Our life is not infinite, our life is finite. Infinity, it is used for a mathematical entity which does not have an end. We will do this till infinity, that is any kind of an entity which will have no end. Now, note this word infinitesimal is something which is having no end, pertaining to something or relating to something having no end to its smallness, कोई चीज़ जिसका कोई end नहीं हो, that is the word infinitesimal. So, taking up the word final, this is your final act. This was the hero usually dies in the tragedy in the final act. He loved to see the finale. He finished his work. Our life is not infinite. We have to do this till infinity, and or infinite is anything which will have an no end, and finite would be anything which will have an end, right. Moving on to our next of the slide in this, please see the words very carefully, jot them down, see the negative prefix and the positive prefix in it, because with this you can also frame on your own that man's life is finite. Finite means ending, mortal, from the root mort is death, deadly, transient. See the chain of the words that come us, fleeing, passing away, ephemeral, something which will last for a long time, which will go on for a long time, that is transient. Our life is finite and God's world is infinite, right. Don't be confined in your knowledge. Confined, limit particular boundary that you have, like in the four walls, in fact we would say. He was confined in the four walls, that is closed in the four walls. It's a boundary or the end where one cannot pass up, so it is confined. He was confined in the labyrinth, in the dungeon. Don't confine yourself in the four walls of the house. Right? We were all, because of the corona pandemic, we were all confined in the four walls of the house. Your knowledge should not be confined, it should fly high. Definition is the boundary, the end for meaning of a word. एक word का कोई particular meaning, that is definition, meaning of that word. Like we will say this word means this. Like I will say definition of the word Greg means, or gregarious means, a person who loves to mix up with people, a person who is very social and amiable person, a friendly person. That would be definition of the word gregarious. When we say indefinite, that means not fixed. Don't give an indefinite answer. Be very sure about your answers. You should be very thorough with your answers. That is indefinite. Be definite, don't be indefinite. The in root working here too. Fine is brought to a good end, something that you end up completely, that's fine. Refinery, you've heard the word. This is an industrial plant where crude substance is processed thoroughly to an unstable end. Continuously, there is no end to this. This crude substance is in a more refined and a finished form, coming to an end, right. Finite, I just discussed with you. Our life is finite, that is passing away or ephemeral. Don't forget the word, because it's a trans root that also works in this one to other, right. And the last word for today, finicky, is pertaining to someone who has too many limiting boundaries. बहुत ज़्यादा कोई चीज़ों में boundaries होना, that is finicky. So do remember the words and the basic word that you are coming up in this, and the negative and the positive prefix, so that even the suffixes, prefixes, keep revising them. The more you revise, you have a natural scanner, and keep revising it so that you never miss it out. Your mind will never leak these words, right. They will be going in the permanent memory forever, eternal and forever, right. Thank you, students.